guys, do you know what time it is? The Sephora spring sale! The most wonderful time of the year. And in fact, they changed it to where it used to be the spring sale was 15% off for rouges, and then the fall sale was 20% off. Now they're both 20% off, which is like, thank you, that extra 5%. It makes a big difference, especially when you're buying a lot of stuff, right? Am I right? I'm right. So if you guys have not got the memo yet, the Sephora sale is right around the corner. In fact, when I post this video, it will have already started. Yeah. So starting April 26th to May 6th, rouges will get 20% off. May 2nd to May 6th, VIBs will get 15% off. And May 2nd to May 6th, insiders can get 10% off. And to be an insider, you don't have to have any kind of special spending habits or anything like that. Anybody can be a beauty insider, sign up and get 10% off. And this percentage off is everything in the whole store, you guys. Anything in the whole store you can get a percentage off on, which does not happen very often at Sephora. It used to happen only twice a year. Now they're sprinkling in little surprise sales here and there, but for the most part, sales do not happen at Sephora, and Sephora carries really good brands, high-end brands like Charlotte Tilbury, and stuff that are exclusive to Sephora, perfumes, hair care, skincare, all of that stuff. It's the perfect time to buy it all. So in today's video, I have a lot of stuff. You can kind of see it sitting over here on my bed. But I kind of grabbed my like must-haves, current favorites, things like that, just top of mind stuff out of my shower, out of my vanity, out of my beauty cabinet in the bathroom to tell you guys about, and it ended up being like a lot. So yeah, if you're looking for some good ideas for the Sephora sale, stay tuned because we're about to talk about it. Okay, let's start with eye products because I only have 4 of them. Only 4. So the first thing I want to tell you guys about are these Hourglass Scattered Light eyeshadow pigments or glitters. What are they called? Glitter eyeshadows. These are so good, you guys. Hourglass in general is a fantastic brand. They have really good stuff. During the fall, they always come out like right before Christmas with these like exclusive holiday palettes. The spring, they don't have anything like that, but their products are still so good. Anything in the Hourglass line I would recommend, but these Scattered Light eyeshadows are like, they're so pretty. This is in the color Aura, A-U-R-A, and it is a pressed pigment. They have like a little thing in here to kind of keep the pigment down, but what I like most about these particular shadows is they're glittery, but they're not like chunky, obnoxious glitter. They're like the perfect amount of shimmer on your eye. And this particular color, Aura, these swatches are going to be hard to see because it's like overcast outside and I don't have any lighting I can use to show you. So the swatches are not going to do it justice, but these eyeshadows are beautiful, you guys. They have them in like 4 or 5 different colors. Aura is the one that has the most pinky undertone, which is, you know, perfect for springtime. But if you ever feel like your eye look needs a little something extra, a little bit of glitter, a little bit of shimmer without looking like I'm wearing glitter, these are so good. So highly recommend those. If you're looking more for like the palette route, a more all-inclusive route, the Tartelette and Bloom palette is actually surprisingly really good. And I say that because I haven't always been super impressed with Tarte shadows, but the formula on this palette is really, really nice. And the fact that it's like in bloom, it has this really nice like spring theme to it. The colors are really good, particularly these 2 right here. So Funny Girl and Sweetheart I have been using like crazy. Sweetheart is a really unique color. I haven't been able to find this in many other palettes, but it's kind of like a matte pinky beige, and it's so creamy. I mean, you saw how like nicely that went on. And then Funny Girl is kind of like a champagne shimmery color. It looks really pretty all over the lid. Those 2 I've been obsessed with, but the whole palette is just so nice. You got your cools, you got your neutrals, you got like your rosy pinks on the bottom, your rosy browny pinks on the bottom. And the formula is really nice and it blends really well. So this would be like a good Mother's Day present if you're looking for something like that. So there's that. The Naked Reloaded palette, I think I need a makeup wipe. Hold on. Okay, the Naked Reloaded palette is probably more of like a summer palette, but this is Urban Decay's newest Naked palette. Here's what it looks like. I'm just kind of dipping my toes in this, but I do really like this color Retro, which is a really pretty kind of like pinky coral, which is nice for the spring and the summer. You got a really good variety of mattes and shimmers in here, and it has that really nice like Urban Decay formula. You can definitely get a whole look out of this palette, so definitely worth the money. And I think it's a little bit cheaper than some of the other Naked palettes, like ever so slightly cheaper. And then if you're looking to really splurge on a really nice eyeshadow palette, maybe you're looking for a birthday gift, a Mother's Day gift, or you just really want to treat yourself to something really over the top and really nice, Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes are top notch. I was trying to think of a really good word for it. They are one of a kind, they're top notch, they are the best formula on the market. I highly recommend them, they are just so good. This is the Star palette. I also have the Lila palette and the Sunset palette and the Tropics palette. I'm thinking about buying the new palette. I think it's called the Biba palette or something like that. It's like all the neutral colors. The Star palette is really nice because it has a good variety of warms and cools. You can see mine is totally just like shredded. I use it all the time. I use it on my wedding day. It's just so good. The mattes in this palette are so smooth, you guys. They blend out so nicely. They are so pigmented. You get really good color in one swipe. They are just in a league of their own. They are so incredibly good. You don't need to have a whole lot of technique or experience in order to blend these out and use them really well. The mattes are so nice. Some of the shimmers, just trying to get the oil from the makeup wipe off my finger. Some of the shimmers, I mean all of the shimmers are just so incredibly like, oh, they're just look, just watch this swatch. Oh my God, I have no words to describe how beautiful it is. Look at that like metallic, just like finish it has on it. They are just in a league of their own. They also have these like kind of chunky titanium glitters. And I say chunky, and usually chunky is associated with like a bad, you know, a bad way, but they're so beautiful. I used this one on my wedding day. It just added the perfect amount of like glitter. Do you see that, you guys? Oh my God. They are so good, but they are so pricey. So, you know, just throwing that out there. They're a lot of money, but they're really good. Some other eye type products that I want to recommend to you guys. I have an eyebrow pencil, an oldie but a goodie. I always forget to talk about this in these videos, but this is the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I use the color taupe. It's what I use to color in my brows today. I get a lot of questions from you guys on what I use to color in my brows. I think every blonde is always kind of on the hunt for that perfect, like, not too dark, not too light, not too warm, not too cool brow pencil. And I feel like the taupe in the Anastasia line is perfect. The Brow Wiz has that teeny tiny point that really helps you kind of recreate natural hair flex. So this is definitely a good one. And then for a mascara, the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes Volume 2 is something else, you guys. This one and the Hourglass Caution, which I don't actually have, but I can still link it down below for you, are two really good mascaras. They're the kind of mascaras that give you length and volume. They're super pigmented, they don't flake all over your cheeks, and you can wear them and not have to wear falsies with it. Like, they just look so stinking good. So definitely a good mascara. And Charlotte Tilbury is one of those brands that's very expensive. They recently put it in Sephora, so it's like, get it while you can, you know, on sale, because you're not really gonna find it on sale ever anywhere else. Moving on to cheek products, I have two bronzers that I want to share with you guys. These I've both hit major pan on, which tells you how much I love them. The Marc Jacobs Tantastic in the coconut scent. It's the white packaging with like the rose gold accents. Is something else. It's the bronzer I wore on my wedding day. You can see I've hit major pan. I actually already have a backup for this, so I'm not going to buy another one during the sale, but I would if I didn't have a backup. It's so good. It's the perfect consistency. It's matte, so you can contour with it, you can bronze with it, and it has that perfect tone of not too warm, not too cool, no shimmer. It is beautiful. Again, I wore it on my wedding day, and I think my skin looked perfect on my wedding day. So I definitely recommend that. And then if you're looking for something a little bit darker, maybe you're darker skinned or you just want a little bit more glow, this is the NARS Laguna. It's available anymore. This was like a special edition packaging with a bronze, with a Ita brush, but the bronzer itself is still available. So here's what it looks like. Again, you can see I've hit major pan on it. It's another one that I think has a tiny bit of a sheen, possibly, but for the most part it's matte, so you can contour with it. I mean, that's why they sold it with the Ita brush. This is a contour brush. Because people contour with it all the time, but you can bronze with it. If you want to get like super tan looking for the summertime, the NARS Laguna is amazing. It doesn't look patchy or muddy. It blends out beautifully. I have a couple of blushes to tell you guys about, and by a couple I mean 4. Some of these I've talked to you guys about, actually all of these I've talked to you guys about before in one video or another, or one form or fashion. I have my oldie but my goodie. I always forget to talk to you about this in Sephora videos. Tarte's Exposed. I'm telling you about it now. This is my holy grail. I've gone through 2 pans of this blush, which is insane. It doesn't look like anything special in the pan, but it looks so beautiful on the cheeks. It blends beautifully, and it's that perfect everyday, like muted mauvey pinky, just beautiful blush color. I love it so much. I keep it in my vanity. I keep it in my everyday makeup drawer because if I don't know what to wear, I will always pop this on my cheeks. It goes with every single makeup look. Something that's similar but slightly different is the Marc Jacobs Flesh and Fantasy. This one has a very similar tone, but it has a little bit of like a iridescent ambient lighting powder kind of sorta in there, so you can see the stripes on the pan. When you blend it together, it has a very similar look to Tarte's Exposed. It just has a little bit more of like a glow to it, so if you're looking for like a glow, it doesn't look like anything special. When you swatch it, when you swatch these 2 products, they don't look like anything special. You're kind of like, what? And even when you go to the store and you look at them, you're like, there's nothing special. But when you put it on your cheeks, it just does something magical to your cheeks, and it just pulls your whole makeup look together, and it looks so good. So if you're a nude blush fan, I think you're really gonna like either one of these 2 blushes. Marc Jacobs one is obviously more expensive, but again, I wore Tarte's Exposed on my wedding day, so that tells you how amazing it is. The Charlotte Tilbury blushes, I'm still kind of dipping my toes in. They're very expensive. The color First Love is one of those kind of nudie blushes that, I mean, obviously I like nude blushes, so I had a feeling I would like this one. It has like a peachiness to it. It's very, very sheer. You have to build it up, but I have noticed that it gives me that same effect where it doesn't look like anything special when you swatch it. But when you put it on your cheeks, it pulls your whole look together. I have these blushes in a few different colors. This one is my favorite so far. But yeah, since they're so expensive, pick them up while they're on sale. And then Jouer is a recent add to Sephora. They have these blush duos. I think they're called the Blooming Bouquets or something like that. This one is in the Adore blush duo. It's beautiful packaging. It's hard to see, but it's rose gold and they have like flowers on it. And this actually has 2 different colors in it. You can see there's 2 kind of peachy muted colors. You can tell I love peachy nudie blushes, apparently. So there's one that has a little bit more shimmer and then one that's matte. I'm wearing the more shimmery one on my cheeks today in case you're wondering what I'm wearing. But here's what they look like swatched. Clearly I have a color scheme going on here, right? But I know what I like. Those are the colors I recommend. These are my kind of go-to blushes for this time of year and any time of year really, and they work with any makeup look. For highlighters, I have 2 that I want to tell you guys about, although I could probably tell you about all of them. Ooh, what is going on with my camera? Oh my god, okay, pregnancy brain. I saw my my headboard and I thought it was a crack in the camera. You see the black? Oh my god, okay. Back to the highlighters. Holy Grail. I'm calling it my Holy Grail highlighter. I use this all the time. I use it all the time. I didn't use it on my wedding day, but I should have. In fact, what did I use on my wedding day? I do not remember. It might have been this. No, I used the Casey Holmes Spotlight palette on my wedding day. But that's because I hadn't really started digging into this yet. So this is the Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Powder in the color Iridescent Strobe Light. Again, it's one of those products where when you swatch it and you look at it, it doesn't look like much. But on the cheeks, it does something totally special to your look. It is very hard to see. It's right next to where my finger is. But what I like about the Hourglass highlighters, and all of them really, so you don't have to get this particular color, this is just the one that matches my skin tone the best, is they're not going to give you that blinding, glittery, wet highlight look, which is great. You know, there's a time and place for everything, but I feel like for the daily wear to the office, to school, you know, to the grocery store, I don't particularly want a streak of highlight like that on my cheeks. I want something a little bit more subdued, something a little bit more natural, something that's going to make me look glowy, naturally highlighted, and that is what these highlighters do. They are so beautiful. I am surprised I have not hit pan on it. I've definitely took the dome away, but they're so beautiful. Oh my god. Highly recommend. And then the Fenty Beauty highlighters are incredibly hard to open, but they have these like duos. So you can see here, there's one that's a little bit more blinding and one that's a little bit more subdued. So the subdued side is very similar to the Hourglass highlighter, where it doesn't look like anything special. In fact, you swatch it and you're kind of like, really? But you put it on your cheeks. It's right there by my arm. Hard to see these swatches, I know. And it just looks so, so pretty. And then the more highlighty, the more like blinding side one, I'm not using good descriptors, I know. It just gives you more of that wet look, that more like beaming from space look right there. So you get both of them. You get the best of both worlds with these palettes. This one is in the color Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. It's their Kilowatt highlighter. They have them in many different colors. This is just, again, the one that suits my skin tone the best. But I like the fact that you have options. You can do either or, you know? And then if you're looking for a good all-in-one cheek palette, the Clinique Cheek Pop On The Go Trio palette. This is new for the springtime. It has a highlighter, a blush, and a bronzer in it, and I have been using this to death. You guys can see just by looking at it. Look at how messy that pan is. The highlighter is beautiful. It's another one of those beautiful, like everyday, barely there but perfect wear highlighters. The bronzer has a tiny bit of a sheen to it, but it works really well, especially if you're somebody like me with fair skin. It has a teeny bit more of like a warmer undertone, so it works well for the spring and summertime. And then the blush is like this poppy pinky coral that is just so, so pretty for spring. Very bright, very different from the other blushes that I showed you. But again, I've been using this palette like mad, as you can tell, so I highly recommend it. It's only $29 and you get 3 full-size Clinique cheek products, which is a steal. Those cheek pops, even if you just look at the blushes, the single pan blushes, I think they're $24 or $25. They are so good. I have so many of them. They're such a good formula and they're so pretty too. They look like, you know, a little flower. So perfect for springtime. Okay, hopping into primers. I think I only have, oh no, I have 3 primers. 3 face primers. So 2 of them are Tatcha, and this is actually more of a setting spray. And then one of them is Farsali. So the Farsali unicorn thing that looks like this, but it's in the purple bottle, is good also. But the one I'm currently using is the Skin Tune Blur. This is really nice, and the way I found it works best is when you use it completely on its own. Don't layer it with other products. Use it completely on its own, and you get the best result when I get the best result when I do it that way. It smells really good. It has like a sweet coconut scent to it, and it has this milky, thick contexture, consistency, texture, whatever. And I find that it really does actually kind of blur and tune my skin. I don't know. It fills in the pores. It makes them look a lot nicer. I've worn this alone and I love the way my skin looks when I wear this by itself with like no foundation on top of it, kind of like those no makeup days. It just gives you that extra smooth skin look, and underneath makeup, it layers on top, makeup layers on top of it well, and it just looks really good. So it's a really good lightweight primer, expensive, but again, get it during the sale. If you're looking for a primer that's really going to give you like a silky hydrating effect, filling in your pores, this is a super good one. It's the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I don't like the fact that you have to dig your fingers in it. That's probably the only thing I don't like about it, but it does a really good job. It smells good too. It smells nice and fresh. It does a really good job of kind of filling in your pores, giving you a nice kind of silky feeling, and then again, makeup layers really good on top of it. So that's a really nice one. And then this is the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. This is for people with super dry skin. If you have oily skin, you will not like this product. You have to have dry skin or aging skin or dry problem areas. So the way I like to use this is I will actually spray it on my beauty blender before I blend out my concealer or before I blend out liquid foundation. And it really does give the texture of the liquids just a little bit more hydration, and it blends them out a little bit better. And especially for my under eyes, I noticed it makes it look less cakey, less crepey, less old, less drying. It just adds a little bit of luminosity and like hydration to the area. Such a good product. Again, very expensive, but I think worth it, especially if you can get it on sale. And then as far as, oh, I don't have any foundations to tell you guys about. which is bizarre because I have bought so many foundations lately. Am I missing one? Well, clearly nothing stood out enough for me to actually tell you guys about it, so whatever. As far as concealer goes, this is the one that was top of mind for me. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Liquid Concealer. You know, I think with the foundations, why nothing stood out to me is because I've been using a lot of drugstore lately. There's been a lot of good drugstore foundations, so anyways. Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Liquid Concealer. This is a really good concealer. It's lightweight, yet full coverage, so you can really get a lot of coverage, cover those dark circles, brighten the area, without having the cakiness of, say, like a Tarte Shape Tape, for example, which is really heavy. This is just a little bit more lightweight, a little bit easier to blend out. It has a nice sponge tip applicator, so you don't have to use your fingers or anything like that. You can kind of apply it that way. And I really like it. I will say I feel like I go through it really fast. I use it up really fast, which is kind of a downside, especially for the price, but it is a super good concealer. My under eyes just look so bright and awake and like smooth afterwards. So there's that. For lip products, I have a lip balm, and then I also have some lipsticks and a lip gloss. So the lip balm is the Laneige Sleeping Mask. You're supposed to use it at nighttime. I use it all the time. I use it when I'm getting ready in the morning. It's just a really nice kind of like hydrating, plumping, just really nice lip product. They have this in a tube now, and I think I'm going to pick up the tube during my Sephora haul for the sale because they have really nice scents like pear and grapefruit and fun things like that. So I might pick one of those up, especially because then you don't have to dig your fingers in it. You can just put it on with a little, you know, squeezy tubey thingy. This is the vanilla scent. It still works really well. I have the vanilla and the strawberry. The strawberry one I have in my nightstand. I use it before bed, and then this one I use when I'm getting ready. And I feel like it really does do something special to my lips. It makes them feel nice. It makes them feel less dry. When I put it on at bedtime before I go to sleep, when I wake up in the morning, my lips feel like nice and just kind of like puffy, but in a good way, and it takes away the dryness. And it isn't that expensive. I think it's like $12 or something like that. So that's a good one. And then as far as lipstick goes, I've talked to you guys about these in several videos, but these Too Faced Peach Puff lipsticks are so good. They're a diffused matte lipstick, and they're very lightweight. They're very kind of liquidy, almost like a watery texture. So when you put them on, they leave your lips matte, but they don't feel dry. They don't feel dry, they don't feel heavy, you don't feel like your lips are gonna be cakey or cracking or weird or wear off weird or anything like that. They're also very long wearing. So this is in the color Boy Bye right there. They smell so good too. Oh my God, they smell so good. And then this one is in the color Day Drinking. I was wearing Boy Bye, Day Drinking. Boy Bye is in the top, it's a little bit darker. I was wearing Boy Bye earlier, but then I put something else on top of it, so it kind of looks like this. So those are really good. I kind of want to pick up another color of those because I've just been loving them so much. And then a plumping lipstick is the YSL Volumped and Plump, I believe is what this is called, in number 1. These are the ones that have the little heart in the middle, so there's like a little black heart. That's the plumping element to it. And then there's like a balmy color on the outside of it. This one's just a fun, kind of like peachy sheer color. They have that sheer wash of color, which is nice if you're just looking for something light every day, wear it to the office, throw on in the car on your drive to work or something like that. You don't have to fuss with it. They're really nice, and because they have that plumping element, you kind of feel like your lips are a little bit plumpy. So there's that. And then for lip gloss, I've really been liking MAC. So MAC isn't sold at Sephora. But these Too Faced lip glosses are really nice. There's another lip gloss. Oh, the Fenty lip gloss. It's in my purse, but the Fenty Gloss Balm in the color Fussy. It's like this beautiful pinky color. Oh my God, it's so good. Highly recommend it. I think it's only like $15. So, oh, I totally forgot about that. A good runner-up to that one is these Too Faced Diamond Glosses. This was part of their Pretty Rich collection. This is in the color Raisin to the Roof. It's just a really nice kind of like everyday kind of nude color. What I like about these is there's definitely a lot of shimmer in it, so you can kind of just dot it like on the center of your lips, and it brings a lot of plumpness and juiciness to your lips. But there is obvious glitter in them, so keep that in mind. I mean, it is part of the Diamond collection, so you're gonna have that glitteriness to it. 3 perfumes I want to tell you guys about. So the Toka, I think it's Julietta with a G. Julietta. I discovered this around November of last year. Actually, I bought it during the last Sephora sale. So yeah, that was November of last year. This has the most beautiful, fresh, almost like a cotton, like a fresh cotton, but with a little bit of grapefruit and a little bit of floral. It smells so good. It is the perfect springtime, summertime, like I just got out of the shower. I smell amazing perfume. I wore it around my sister-in-law and she was like, oh my God, you smell so good. The packaging is really nice and heavy and just looks really fancy on your vanity. This would make a really nice Mother's Day gift as well. There's that one. I also have the YSL Mon Paris. Matt got this for me for Valentine's Day and it is the most perfect spring perfume. I know I said that about Julietta, but this is like a fresh, clean scent, whereas this is definitely a floral scent. So it just kind of depends on what you like. This one smells floral. I mean, there's a sweetness to it, but it is floral. There's like, I can't even describe it other than beautiful floralness. There's no musk, there's no vanilla. It is just a fresh floral scent. So it smells really nice. This is the Mon Paris Couture. So it's the one with the polka dot bow. There's a couple of different like versions of this, but the one with the polka dot bow I like. The original one I'm not a big fan of, but this one I really like and I think it smells really nice on me. So there's that. And then if you want something totally different, so we have the fresh, we have the floral, and then another one I recommend that is straight vanilla. Oh, it's almost gone. There's literally that much left in my bottle. This is probably the 5th bottle of this I've gone through. I'm not kidding you guys. Is the La Vanilla Pure Vanilla. This is only available online. You can't find it in stores anymore. But this smells like straight cupcakes. Like straight vanilla extract. Like if you pulled the bottle of vanilla extract out of the cabinet in your kitchen, you open it up with that sweet, fresh vanilla scent. That is what this smells like. I get so many compliments every time I wear this. Every single time I wear this, people are like, oh my God, you smell so good. You smell like vanilla. You smell like cupcakes. It smells so good. And because it's just straight sweet vanilla, you can mix it with other fragrances and just have that vanilla undertone added to them. It's my favorite. Like I said, I've gone through like 5 bottles of it. So super good. And then moving on to non-makeup products, I have a couple of hair care products to tell you guys about. Bumble and Bumble is one of those things that's really, really expensive, so get it when it's on sale if you can. This is their flexible hold hairspray. This is really nice if you like to do those like loose beachy waves like I have every once in a while. It's a hairspray that's not going to leave your skin like sticky or crunchy or anything like that. It's a very flexible. It doesn't hold your hair as well as something like, you know, what's going to leave your hair crunchy, but it's just a really nice, it's the Spray de Mode. I don't think I told you about that, what the name was. Spray de Mode. This is the 2nd bottle of this I've bought because I really just do enjoy like using it. I just think it makes my hair feel really nice and it smells really good. So I use this every single time I curl my hair. And then this has been a complete lifesaver for me for my dry scalp. I've talked to you guys about it before, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it, but I've had a really dry, flaky scalp, and this is the only product I've found that actually helps with the dry flakiness. It's the Living Proof Restore Dry Scalp Treatment. I put it on wet hair after I get out of the shower. I'll section my hair and put it in like 5 or 6 different spots, rub it in, blow dry. I used it today so you can tell it doesn't leave your hair greasy or stiff or anything like that. I still have very flexible, really nice, you know, smooth looking hair, and I can go 2 or 3 days without washing my hair and without having a flaky scalp when I use this, and it's the only thing that does that for me. So there's that. And then as far as skincare goes, I've really had to eliminate a lot of stuff in my skincare that I used to use because I'm pregnant. You can't use things like salicylic acid or I think you can use glycolic acid, AHAs, BHAs. You just have to be really careful with the acids and the serums and stuff like that. So I've really minimized my skincare to cleanser, moisturizer, eye cream. That's pretty much all I use. The exception is this Clarins Hydra serum, I believe is what, there's only a tiny bit left. I only have that much left. Ooh, I think I need to get another one. But because I have such dry skin right now, the dry scalp, I also have dry lips, hence the Laneige. My skin has also been really dry. My skin has gotten a lot better, but it only got better once I started using this and this. So I credit my nice skin to these two products right here. So yeah, I use this morning and night. I use a couple of pumps, which is probably why I'm using it so fast. It sinks into the skin almost immediately and it really helps with the dryness. And my skin was dry, you guys, to the point where it was like flaky and patchy and looked horrible under any kind of makeup. Nothing was helping it. But as soon as I started using this, it completely turned around and it's nice and hydrated and like supple again. So I'm kind of scared that once this runs out, it's gonna go back to how it was before, but we'll see. So I use this underneath my moisturizer, and then the moisturizer I've been using is the Drunk Elephant Lala Retro Whipped Cream. I think I'm gonna get another one of these during the sale because I think mine is almost gone. It's hard to tell with these products. It's just hard to tell when you're about to run out. But I think this is almost gone. So I want to get it back up because it's really good. The packaging is kind of cool. You push the top right here and it comes out like that instead of having to dip your fingers in a tub of liquid or lotion. It just pops out the perfect dispense of the perfect amount, pops out the top. Put it on your face. Again, I use it morning and night and my skin just feels so stinking good. Very expensive, but it works really well. It's nice and thick and hydrating. So there's that. And then for eye cream, I have two here that I want to tell you guys about. My Belief Moisturizing Eye Balm is almost gone. I got this during the last Sephora sale. I have maybe a week left in that one. It's really good. It's not quite as moisturizing as this one, which is the Kiehl's Creamy Avocado Eye Treatment. This one is very, very hydrating. I like to use this one at nighttime because it does give that extra moisture. The thing is, makeup layers very well on top of the Belief one. It doesn't always layer that well on top of the Kiehl's one because it is so hydrating. So pros and cons to both. I kind of want to try out the Ulla Hendricks banana one. That's on my list. Ooh, excuse me. I got the burping going on. It's another nice little pregnancy side effect there for you, all the gas. But yeah, I want to try that one out just because it looks really fun. It has vitamin C in it, which isn't always the best for my skin, but we'll see. So yeah, that is it. Those are my recommendations for the Sephora haul. This video is gonna be a long one. So if you guys made it to the end, congrats, thank you so much. And let me know in the comment section down below what you recommend for the Sephora sale. It's going on right now. I've probably already placed my order, but I'm willing to place another one. So let me know what you recommend in the comment section, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.